We buy gold. We have all seen the signs on the streets, but do you know what happens after you sell your gold? Today, we're going to take you on the journey behind the scenes and show you step by step. Our interview of today is with David. Welcome.
Hi, I'm David. I've been doing this for over 45 years. And the craziest thing that I've melted was probably a Cuban link chain that weighed over 1,000 grams, so that's over a kilo, that someone traded in and a jewelry store or a pawn shop brought it in to have melted. A person can come in and they have scrap gold and they want to trade it in, they want to sell it. So I take the material, I weigh it.
Okay, so we are going to weigh the gold now.
Yeah. So we've got a variety here, 14 and 18 karat gold. And we have some white gold and some yellow gold. So it is all weighed together. We're weighing in penny weight, which is used in the trade. So it's 1.55 grams to 1 penny weight. And it's easier for us to divide by 20 than it is 31.1. Okay, we have a starting weight of approximately 118.59 pennyweight. So let me write that down, 118.59, which translates into 184.43 grams. So that's our starting point, and from here we go to the furnace room. It takes about 10 minutes. This is an aluminized jacket. So if something splatters, it doesn't go through my clothing and burn me.
What is the temperature?
1,800 degrees. So I melt it, make it into a homogeneous solution. Now I have to pick the correct size. So this is good for 118 pennyweight.
You have to warm up the
Heating up the mold, you can't pour molten metal into a cold mold. It flies all over the place, it explodes. And I pour it into an ingot mold, and I get an ingot. Depending on the purity of the metal, you can have a melt loss of anywhere from 0.5% to 3%, depending on the carat of the gold and if there was a lot of solder, so you have a reduction in the final weight. We started with 118.59, we end with 116.8. Dirt disappears. Sometimes the base metals will burn off. Gold doesn't disappear. So sometimes you'll end up with lower weight, but it's more concentrated because there's less of the unwanted material in there. Then I drill the bar on both sides and I mix up the drillings that come out so I get a real good mixture. And then I put it into the XRF machine, which hits the metal with an X-ray, which throws off a spectrum, and it reads the spectrum and tells me what metals are present in the bar and at what percentages. So what you're seeing is that you had 14 and 18 karat bezels. So we have an average of 15 and a half karat. It's 64.8 roughly when it stops moving.
How long do you leave the reading?
30 seconds.
30.
You can see it contains a little bit of silver. It's got nickel because of the white bezels. You've got zinc, copper, and then I calculate the price, less a discount that I need for profit and to run the business. I buy the bar, everyone's happy. The other segment of the business is where people want me to remove stones. This was a Cuban link chain that was covered in diamonds and
the owner wanted the stones removed.
That is a chemical process that requires the use of aqua regia, which is a mixture of hydrochloric and nitric acid.
The metal is dissolved into the acid. I don't need all of it to dissolve. I need the prongs to dissolve so I can recover the diamonds.
That
Is aqua regia that contains gold. So this has to get filtered out, and then I use another chemical, metabisulfite, to drop the gold out of solution and then recover the gold that's in solution.
This is gold.
Yeah.
Recovered from. What happens to this acid after you use it?
the acid has a pH of roughly 1. Neutral would be around 7, 7.5. So I have to raise the pH to bring it to a neutral so I can then dispose of the acid.